sit down, and then once you're seated, then you can pull that handle up and slide it. Yeah, there's a cup holder over there. You set your water. So get used to it. If you think this is snug, this is like a limousine compared to where you're going to be flying in. For real? Yeah, so there's a handle back here. So go ahead and pull it up. So the proper way to know that you're in the right, yeah, just lift it up and it's going to slide. Okay. There you go. The proper way to determine you're at the right distance and height is, there's also a button too that you can raise the seat up and down. But you should be able to see right over the yoke here and see down to the front of this is your primary flight display. As long as there's no view that's obstructing the primary flight display, then you're fine. And then you can adjust the rudder pedals too. There's a handle underneath there that you can adjust what kind of pedals.
So like right now, I can see all the way up down to, what's that, H, E, G?
That's the heading, yeah. So that's pretty good. You could probably scoot up a little bit more if you want. Okay. Headsets are over there on your left. Okay. This just pops out right here. It's just kind of hanging on. So it just clips on. You got it. All right. It just kind of clips on. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Air New Zealand Flight 363, nonstop service from San Francisco to Los Angeles. I am flying with First Officer Mario today. So we're going to make this flight online with VATSIM. Let's get some light in here. This is Mario's first time in the 737, so we'll probably have a little Q&A going on from time to time. So let's see, we've got... So I can see everything on my pad here that's going on. So I see there's my route of flight. I can also see that the green area is all the, that's Oakland Center. So I know that he's online there. And you can also see if you zoom in, you can see other traffic on the field if there are any. And there are a few other people there, but I'm not picking them up at the moment. But anyway.
Okay. So the pink is kind of like a path, flight path?
Yeah, that's your route. So, all right, so I have everything up and running basically. The CDU here, yours is going to stay in progress mode, but the first thing is I got to check the air rack cycle, make sure that's current. So this is the flight management computer. Need to locate our initial position, so that's KSFO. And I don't need to do the gate. I'm going to put the NAVs, IRSs, that's the inertial reference. We're going to put those in place so they can set. So it's looking for, the GPS needs to know where it's positioned. Where is the airplane in space? It doesn't know. So I can go in here and pick a GPS location, which the airplane knows it, put that in, and then boom. So now it's set. It knows where it is in space, so it can reference everything else. Put the origin in here, and then I can request a flight plan. I do my flight plans on SimBrief, and there it does all the routing and everything for you, and then I can upload it straight into here.
Okay.
So I'll load it, go to my route, activate it, and then execute, and then I can look at my legs and see that they're in place. I'm going to clear this one disco here. That's good. So, can you hear that okay?
No, I can't hear anything over here. I'm supposed to hear something through. I hear now.
Okay, you have volume here, so you can adjust the volume.
Okay.
If it's too loud or not loud enough, you can adjust your volume here.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we're on 1, so basically I'm driving the bus here with channel 1, so that's the frequency that we're on.
Okay.
And then I can also see that unfortunately, you can't get away from a keyboard, no matter how hard you try. Let's see. So I've got a screen down here that I can kind of see a little bit of what's going on. let's see, pushing 15. Yeah, so my buddy is, this is what I'm looking at. I'll drag this up so you can see it. So this is that same screen that I had back there.
Okay.
So this is my buddy Pat. He's American Airlines 1, and we're just chatting back and forth across this thing.
Okay.
So he said, American 1 is across from me. I mean 361. Okay. And pushing 15 minutes. So the other thing I can show you here that you wouldn't be able to see, this is my PDC, which is what they call a pre-departure clearance.
Okay.
Let me move it over here. So this screen is also, the audience can see, it's on the center. So basically what that is the route of flight, San Francisco, the Styx 5, the Sussy, the eBay, Burgle, and the Ironman into LAX. So that's the route. The flight level is 370. I squawk 363. That's my transponder code. You know, like you'd be doing 1200 in flying VFR. So it's what, 363. So I'll put that in here, 3663. And then I'll leave it in standby now, or you can put it in transponder mode. That way everybody on the ATC will know where I am on the field. And they'll see me. So we're cleared to the Styx departure. So what that is, that's a SID, a standard instrument departure, the Styx 5. And when it says you're cleared the Styx 5 departure, Sussy transition, climb via SID. So climb via SID means do exactly what the paperwork says.
Okay.
Expect flight level 370, 10 minutes after departure, departure frequency on 135.1, expect runway 1 left. Call for ground for pushback. So that's what that is. Contacts. So we have the order of communications based on the hierarchy. So center is the big picture. Approach would be the next smaller part of the pie, and then tower is like the 5-mile radius on the field. So if there were ground, then I would contact ground, or ramp or whatever. They're not on there. So the first person I'm going to talk to is tower, so that's why I got 120.5 in here. Then he's saying contact departure frequency on 135.1. I'm going to quiz him on that because you see what it says, 13395. There's a discrepancy there. So which one is correct? Tower's the one that should be sending that to me, so I'm going to double check with him real quick and see. San Francisco Tower, Air New Zealand 363 request.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got my PDC. It says contact departure on 135.1 after, but NorCal approach is showing 13395. Which one is correct?
The one in your PDC.
Okay, they're not up on right now. Is that the deal?
They're up. It's just the controller working NorCal is running what they call area freak, so he's running both the departure frequencies as well as the general combined arrival frequency.
Okay, good to know. That was a little confusing because I didn't see it on the controls and range. So appreciate that, New Zealand 363. So that's typical radio call that you would have, even at the airport here when you're flying a 150 or 172. I mean, you just tell them who you are, ask them what you want, and that's pretty much it. All right, so, and this is what they call a craft sheet, which is your clearance, your routing, your altitude, your frequency, your transponder. So this is kind of the more modern thing, these PDCs, where they send you this pre-departure clearance. That way you don't have to spend time with him talking through it, you writing it down, you reading it back, getting it wrong, and just takes takes up a lot of time.
So how would you get this on an actual?
So what you would do is when you file your flight plan, so like when you start flying, your instructor is going to tell you to file a flight plan, and it'll be a VFR flight plan, whatever. It's basically telling air traffic control what you're doing. And when you file that, it's going to go into their system, and it's going to show up. So what this does, the way this works, is when I file it on that sim brief and I click file the flight plan, it sends it to them across the internet, and then they get it, and they send that ACARS. You see, that's the tab. It's under the ACARS. That's what they send that to me. Go, oh, he's got this flight, this file, so we're going to send him this pre-departure clearance.
Okay. So would you get that on like a screen somewhere?
You can, sometimes you can get it through here. It depends. They're not doing that right now, but you can do that through the data link system. CPDLC, which is controller, pilot, direct link control, so that pilots and controllers can talk via text messages basically is instead. But usually only use that when you're going like across the Atlantic or something like that where you don't have radio communication, but you have data communication. So anyway, what I do with this, and this is something you'll get used to doing when you're flying, is doing a clearance even on a VFR. So we're cleared to LAX. So I'll just put LAX via the Strix. So the routing is going to be the Stix 5. So you can abbreviate that however you can to remember it. Climb via SID. So I would just put via SID. And then the altitude is going to be 370, and that's a whole thing with the direction of flight. So dial 37,000 in that, 37,000, and then do the same up here on the MCP. Departure frequency is 135.1.
You said 37,000?
Yeah,
so
37. Yeah, just keep spinning. Keep going. There you go.
So it's going to go into like 37.
Yeah. So squawk is 3,000. And then put it in here too.
Also here.
3663. So the purpose of writing all this stuff down is just so you have it here and you remember what it is, and especially the transponder and the frequency. So he's tower, so instead of me doing that NorCal approach, I'm going to put 135 in this frequency standby. So all I got to do is push the button and swap over to him when I'm climbing out.
Okay.
So that's 35. Yeah, it's my standby frequency. So 100. And that's it. So we're good to go there. I don't have to fool with really anything else. Okay, so let's continue with the setup. So I've got this, and the reason I call him, I want to verify because this is my route of flight. So that's the basic route in the once I get out of the airport. So the departure is going to be one left. Pretty sure that's what they said. It's one left. And you can get the text version of this. So if I double click on this, so it gives you the text version. Information Lima. Yeah, departing runways one left and one right. So we're based on where we are on the runway, on the airport. That makes sense that we would do one left. So I'll put one left in here. And it's the Stix 5 departure and the SUSI transition. So that's selected. I execute that. Then I look at the arrival. So LAX arrival. And that's going to be, I can go back to my routing. And not there. And that's my sim brief copy. It'll pull it up here. All right, so there it is. New Zealand 363 SFO to Los Angeles. Come on. Open it. All right, so it gives you the route here. So it says one left, Stix, Sussy, eBay, Burgle, Ironman 2, and 2-4 right. So I know I'm at 2-4 right. So typically it's going to be ILS 2-4 right. There's 2-4 right. And it's the Ironman. There's Ironman 2. And the Burgle transition. Yeah, Burgle. So that's good. Execute. Then I can look at my legs page. Go to the last page. Work backwards. There's one. Mercy. That's just these blanks mean you got to fill them up with something, and then that'll clear that out of the way. Vectors, you leave that in there because they're going to, that means the air traffic control is going to get you into, they're going to vector you into that position. But I'm checking all these routes to make sure there's nothing. So see Sussy, and then you put it on top of that, it gets rid of all that blank space in between. So that looks pretty good. Then when you think you've got it all down and you're looking at this going, what does all that mean? That's your first waypoint, the magenta one. Come up here, and you can do it on yours too. Rotate that to plan, and see now the route is on your map there.
Okay.
And then if you go to your legs page, now you got this step. You can do this and step through each one of the legs on the route. And then you can zoom out, get a bigger range, and keep stepping and go through and make sure that there's no discontinuities. It's all connected like a nice smooth line. And this right here where that long line is, the reason that's where you're going to get the vectors. So what's going to happen is you're going to be going out here, and then ATC is going to come back and he's going to manually turn you in. So that's how that part of it works. It'll be self-explanatory when we do it. You'll see. And then once you're comfortable with that, just put it back on the map. This is your traffic button. Turn that off, and there's nothing else on. So you don't want traffic on while you're going, because that's just sending out radar signal. All right, so let's get rid of this. Get that off the screen. I'll put that back. So that's the basic setup there. So let's finish with the routing. So that's good there. Legs, init ref. So now this is my performance. This is all your weight and balance and your fuel. So I'm going to request that. That again comes from the computer. The system pulls it up and it loads it for you automatically. So there we load it. Execute. Now all of the stuff is in. All your passengers, everything else. Your gross weight, your fuel is 11,200 pounds of fuel is all loaded. Your cost index, everything that you need is in here. Go to our fuel F1 limits, N1 limits rather. And then I need something off of here. So I go to my performance tool, and we are going to go one left. So that's all right. I'm going to calculate the takeoff performance. So I need a select temperature, and that's 49. So I put that in here. That goes up here, and then it says a D-rate 2 thrust, so you don't over rev the engines. It gives a little bit easier time on the engines. Flaps are 5 for departure, so put flaps here. And then I need my CG, so I get that from, that's your center of gravity. So I get that from the ProSim, which is the app that runs all the system. Go to my weights and balance, and then I'll get the CG here as 21.6 to 1.6. Enter that, and then my trim set is going to be 5.5. So the trim, this is up, and then you can see it here, nose down. So I'm looking for it here to set it 5.5.
5.1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's pretty close. And then it's also got a little indicator here that this is more accurate, the digital one. So that's good. And then I want to look at my V speeds, and this is where they're going to be plus or minus. So it's looking like 131, 131, 139. This is showing 132, 133, 137. And I'll do a little extra speed's never going to hurt. And that's pretty much set. The only thing here is I'm going to change my acceleration height to 1,000 feet there, and change thrust reduction from 1,500 to. We just leave these here. And that's it. And then that's page 2, so we go back to page 1. Now I'll leave this on this screen here, and then you can leave yours on. You can either do it on legs, which you'll see these every time we pass one, it'll tick to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. This is the engine performance, so we'll leave that on there to start the engines. All right, so carrying on here. Oh, phone. All right, so flaps. I'm going through the overhead and looking at just to make sure that everything is set where it's supposed to be. So standby power is all guarded here. That's there. You start from like the top and you work down. So look at my leading edge flaps, make sure they're good. So this, I know my IRSs are aligned because I got a latitude and longitude coordinates, so that's good. Engine reversers are off. EECs, that's your engine computers, are on and guarded. That's your flight recorder, that's just a check. Mach speeds, and then stall warning. That's your stick shakers. All right, so that's good. Come across, you want 15 on the cabin oxygen for us. You can also check, there's a button over here above this arrow on this, see this? If you push it down.
Is that above the arrow?
Yeah, well, just the arrow itself. It should be like a little flexible. It may or may not. There you go. Okay, so it just checks to make sure oxygen's on. PSE is off. The flight controls are all guarded. These are all good. Yaw damper is on. Lights off, good. Navigation, normal, normal, normal. Displays are auto and normal. Cross-feed valve, want to make sure it shows that it's opening, and then it's going to go dim, so that works. We're going to go ahead and turn our fuel on because we're getting ready to start. We only have fuel in the 2 outside tanks. That at .11 is not, so that's these fuel tanks here. You don't have to worry about them. We want those lights on steady. You got the altitude set. We're going to set this for the existing field elevation in case we have to come back. We want to put this on APU so that we know when we have power coming across the bus. This is cabin utility, coffee pot in the passenger seats. Emergency exit power, no smoking signs. Let's flight attendants know we're getting close, ready to go. We want to put our window heat on. That's all good. And then the voice recorder, that's all stays on auto. The cabin that stays automatically. Recircs are in auto. Left and right packs are in auto. Isolation stays in auto. Do a wing body overheat test. That's good. And then these engine bleeds stay on because they're not running, not doing anything at this point. But we do want to start the APU because that's how we start the engines. So that'll spool up. This is your exhaust gas temperature for it's like a little miniature jet engine on the tail of the plane. And that'll give us the power that we need to start the big engines.
Okay.
All right, so that's going. Let's see what else we got here. So bleeds are checked, IRS is checked, emergency lights. So a lot of this is just what they call flows. You just go through it because you know it needs to be done. We did the leading edge devices. We checked the oxygen, landing gear enunciators, lights test. So lights test. This turns all of the lights on everywhere just to make sure if something's not lit, if there's a burnout bulb, you know it, and you go, ooh. See, there's American 1. He's getting ready to go. Yep. Okay, let's see. Everything along here is done, so that's all. These are all pre-checks for, let's see, bleeds. That's all set. That's what we just talked about. We got our ATIS. Lima. Da, da, da. 2995. So I'm looking for, you won't have to do this on your side because right now I have them slaved, but so I'm checking, I'm setting the field altimeter. So that's right here, 2995 and 2995. These are the standby instruments. So this confirms the field elevation. So that's like a little above 20, roughly there. And then you can go to your map and look at the actual airport diagram. And it'll tell you right up here, 13 feet. See the airport elevation, 13 feet. Okay. So that way you just kind of cross-check. That way you'll know. You'll have to do the same thing on yours when you fly out of here. The other thing you do is this V2 speed, that's 139, so you want to put that up here in the main control panel. That's what this is, our mode control panel. We're going to be departing off of runway 1 left, and the headings for that, I don't know if you can see it, is 014. Put 014 here. Turn to the right.
Out of here?
Yeah, 014, and the same on the heading there, if you would, please, sir. Yeah, if you go the other way, it's quicker, but you've already got it. So you get used to which way is the shortcut. You know,
I don't know how far it will go.
It's just a 360. Yeah, it'll go all the way around. See, I have this one. Okay. Yeah.
I just didn't know how far it goes out.
Yeah, so this one, turn it to the right, and it'll be a shorter distance.
Same thing, 014?
Yeah. Whoa, you already passed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we've got the mode control panel set. This is your flight director. So there's a flight director on each side. This one says master. So this means that I have control of everything here because it's set to the captain's side. But you can switch it, you know, depending on how you're going to fly the airplane. Okay. Your VNAV and LNAV, this is your vertical navigation, your longitudinal navigation. I checked these before because I have a complete route with departure and arrival. I want to make sure that this is working. If these don't light up for some reason, that means there's a discontinuity in my routing somewhere. So that just kind of gives me check that I know everything is okay.
Okay.
Your EFIS, this is your electronic flight information system here. This, you've got the same thing on your side. Just gives you, you know, stations. You can like this shows up some detailed airports on your, some waypoints so show up. Those are all navigational routes. Airports, other airports, you know, just so you kind of get spatial orientation. And then of course there's terrain as well. And there's my other buddy, New Zealand 361. All right, I think we're pretty much good to go. Clock is set. These panels are normal. These are auto. We want to go. Rejected takeoff is going to be RTO. We have APU, so we're going to go ahead and put that on the bus, so that now we're getting power from the onboard jet engine. Can turn the ground power off, and I want to put the APU. So now we're getting air. See that coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Now that means that jet engine's supplying air to the main system,
okay,
so that we can start the engines. All right, so that's good, and then we can turn the wrong. Don't want to turn the APU off. Okay. Ground power's off. Okay. All right, so I think we're good. Flaps are down, speed brake's down. Let's see. That's just a config test.
Here, New Zealand 361, contact American departure 13511.
Yeah, so he's already taken off. That's okay. Cut off trim.
Thank you.
So we could do normally you do the fire test before, but you're just checking to make sure that everything is working. So this lights everything up. Make sure that everything is working so that if you did need to put out a fire, you'd have them. These are squibs. That's just your extinguisher bottles to make sure that they're good, and that checks. All right. I think we're pretty much good, so let me call him. And that's Lima. Yep, that's good. See where he's going to send us to. San Francisco Tower, New Zealand 363. We're at Mike 5, Terminal A, ready for push and start.
Aircraft calling for push. Contact clearance delivery on 8.6.
Sorry, just seeing you on ground now. New Zealand 363. Why is he going with delivery? Yeah, so they just came up with a whole bunch more frequencies I didn't see. 121.8. So let's go here. 121.8.
And that's your standby?
Well, that's how you dial them in. Then you switch to it after you have it dialed in. So now that I'm on ground, I'll go back to tower on this one, 120.5, because that's the one I'm going to need. That'll be the next one. So you can see there's a lot going on. Just you don't have to do that if you don't want to, because it's really going to be
it's going
I'll
to be
handle it
connected
from here. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's, I don't know why that's looking weird to me, but taxi, airport information, parking gates.
Attention aircraft, San Francisco ground is back. Go ahead with the request.
I don't know. That's not it.
240 at Bob Bravo 10, ready for push.
Plots.
Can 240.
There we go.
Push approved. Call for taxi spot 2.
At A8.
Push approved, call for taxi spot 2 or can 2
Now 1512, monitor tower 120.5.
20.5, United 12.
San Francisco ground, Air New Zealand 363 at Alpha 8, ready to push and start.
Air New Zealand 363, San Francisco ground, push approved. Spot 2, call for taxi.
Spot 2, call for taxi, New Zealand 363.
Delta 717,
So what he's doing, see this number right here, 2? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's saying it's clear to push and then call for taxi when I get to that spot right there.
Okay,
because
so you can get to that spot and then call in?
Because everything inside of this area is what they call non-movement area, which means that you can kind of move around in there without having to worry, but they don't want you to pass that without calling them so they can release you onto the runway area.
Okay.
But he's given me permission to go that route, so we're good. All right, so this is where I use the keyboard quite a bit because I got to call this GSX thing. Come on. And push and start. So that's what. So you're going to see all this stuff start popping in here. These are all the tugs and stuff that are going to push us back and get us going.
Ground 239, we're ready to taxi shuttle Alpha. Wing 239, stand by pushing United.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Yeah, so they got some good little animation stuff that they.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's all good. So this is where, you know, normally you have 2 people doing a lot of this stuff. You share responsibilities. You know, the first officer would do his part of it.
Okay.
But it's, you know, you got to be familiar with us. Well, there's a lot of training that goes on and all that. So we're in the engine start phase. So we've got everything set up and ready to do that. Next thing they're going to do is tell me to release the parking brake and get me going. So this is all of the stuff that I'm going to be doing just because I know it from memory.
Okay.
So flight, the Air New Zealand 363, runway 1 left.
Locking gear.
122 passengers, cargo, so it's got all that data that it's pulling in. That's kind of neat the way they do that.
So just about everybody's got a screen like that at the airport that they can look at?
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Some of the bigger airports will have those, but not all of them do. So you see it's lifting us up now.
Okay.
So he's putting us up on the little truck so he can back us out. And I'm going to go nose to the left because I'm at this gate, so I want the tail to go back that way and the nose to swing to the left.
Okay.
So that's what he's doing, nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
All right, so we're going to turn our packs off because we want all the air for the bleeds going to the engines to start. And then we're going to start number 2. And you're going to see air to start spooling up.
Okay.
And now I'm looking for 26.
Ground Audi, United 1509, heavy, gate Foxtrot 11, ready to push Atlanta. Yeah, 1509, happy down.
And then I'll take this from cutoff to idle. There we go. And now you'll start seeing fuel flow, and the N1 will start coming up. See, now we got fuel flow.
Wings 239. Frontier flight 3208, pull up to and hold, pull up all the way you can to the hold short bottom, or Tower 120.5.
Put anti-collision lights on. That's the beacon that's flashing so that they know that the engines are starting. You ever see that light kind of flashing? So it's gonna, it's spooling up now, and then it's gonna, when it gets to it's complete, see, just the starter kicks off. But I'm waiting for this red line to go away. If this white line gets up to that red line, that would be a hot start. That would be bad, but it's never done it because it's a simulation. So the way you do this is you push them in, and then you turn it. So now we're starting number 1. So you can see, when we get off of this one, if we go back to the airport, you can see what's going on here. Come on, Pokey. So you can see where we are on the airport. See, we were pointing in, now it backed out that way with the nose towards M5. And then we're just going to taxi out around and stop right there on number 2 whenever we're done. So 26, we'll go ahead and add fuel to number 1.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Alright, so we'll tell them.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
I have a little device called a Stream Deck that you can program a lot of this stuff in there, so you don't have to use a keyboard as much, but I just haven't got it dialed in yet. So, all right, so we got 2 good engine starts. Once that's gone, then I know we don't have anything to worry about. All right, so before taxi, we got the engines idle detent. We want both of the generators in on the bus, so those go out. That means now we're running off the main engine, so that's all good. All 4 of these need to go on. The way you do that is you kind of pull them out a little bit and you flip them down. So if you'll do that to those 3, just kind of pull it out and then straight down. There you go. Yeah, no, you got it.
Oh, it's all the way down? Okay.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. And same thing with these 2. Put them in auto.
Bypass pin removed.
Perfect. Great.
Left is clear.
You can
right is clear.
pull this one out and turn it off. That's the APU. We don't need it on anymore. And then you can put that in off position. That's the APU. There you go. So it's off. Now these, remember I told you push them in and you turn them?
Yeah.
So push them in and then put them on the cont. Both of them on the continuous. There you go. That's so it's like, you know, when you use your igniter and you hear tick, 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 tick. That's what this does. This gives a constant tick, tick, tick.
Okay.
To the engines in case they flame out or something. They're always getting a little spark to get them going again. All right, so it looks like we're set. Put the probes on heat. Yeah, those come down, and then these I just put the generators on to make sure that it's showing that we're getting power from both the left and right generators, so that's good.
Okay.
And we're all good. We'll let the flight attendants know we're ready to go. And I'm going to put my taxi lights on and my runway lights on. That just lets them know we're going to be moving. And then flaps 5 for departure. And you're going to see that's going to be indicating there. So, and then the way you steer is with this tiller down here. And if you want to try it, you can. See this tiller down there?
So it actually like turns left and right.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So you got it. So we're going to go all the way out to the end. Just follow the yellow line all the way out to the end and then take a left, follow that weird looking shape thing.
Second left?
Yeah, the second. Yeah, because the first one would put us at 1 and he wants us at 2. Now it's going to be a little skewed. It's going to look awkward. If you kind of lean over and look down the center, you kind of get a better idea of where you really are in relationship to the center. You can start turning because that's a little short over there with that building or whatever that. Thank you, Microsoft's funky scenery. And then you should see a 2 on the ground, like in a box. You should see the number 2. I'll help you look for it too, just to make sure that we don't miss it. I'm kind of watching it here on the map too, where you are, which helps. It gives you better situational awareness. I don't see 4, but I have a pretty good idea it's going to be at this this first line that turns off. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. I don't see that on there. The main thing is you don't want to cross the non-movement line.
Yeah,
so we're going to.
2 is this fork, the second fork probably.
Well, that's not really on here, but I don't see a 2, so we'll just go ahead and pull it in right here. Because see this Alpha?
Correct.
See that taxiway Alpha? That's the one that's running right here, and I don't want to get into that, so I'm going to stop a little. Better to be a little short than not. All right, so we're ready to taxi to runway 1. So let me call him.
So are the 2 pedal brakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got toe brakes for left and right, and just push both of them down for all the brakes.
Okay.
All right, so we're still on ground. Man, they got a bunch of ground. 280, yeah. San Francisco ground. New Zealand 363 at spot 2, ready to taxi to 1 left. Bravo Mike 1 to 1 left. Here, New Zealand 363. All right, so Bravo and then Mike 1, so he's sending us back over there Bravo to Mike 1. See where it says Bravo Mike 1, and I think that's where he is right there, and then you can also see it right there. See that Mike 1 over there next to the one left? So that's where he wants us to go.
Down to 1509 runway. 1509 runway 28 left. Alpha Fox short runway 1.
And so you know you're on Bravo because the black B, that's the Bravo here. And you'll get used to that when you start taxiing. And then see Mike 1 is the M1 there, and then this is one left. Hold short. Never cross these lines without them giving you permission. All right, now we should be, which I don't know which tower he wants. San Jose Tower is 125. San Francisco Tower, New Zealand 361, holding short of one left at Mike 1, ready for departure.
Here's New Zealand 361.
363.
New Zealand 363, San Francisco Tower, roger, runway 1 left, line 1 wait.
Line up and wait, one left. New Zealand 363. Yeah, see there's New Zealand 361 on there too. So I make sure I'm on TARA, which is just traffic awareness, like your ADSB stuff.
Okay.
Bearing 239, contact north departure. Departure 239, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
On runway 0.
All right, so we're line up and wait, and this is where I'm gonna set my auto throttle. So engage that to make sure that we're ready. And he'll tell us when to go. So departure is gonna be on 135.1, he said, right? 135.1.
New Zealand 363, runway 1 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, one left, New Zealand 363. So we're good. So what I'm going to do here is I'll take the parking brake off, but I'm going to accelerate up to 40% here and look for him to stabilize and then hit toga, so that'll automatically go. And then I'm going to push forward on this a little bit just to keep the nose down and then steer with the tiller until I get to about 80 knots, and then I'll come off of the
Front.
The yoke. Now I got airspeed alive. You can see the speed tapes moving, so we're good there. There's 80 knots, so now I can back off of this a little bit, and I can pretty much steer with the rudder now, with the toes. I'm looking for V1 at 139 knots, which I have up here. And there's V1, rotate. Yeah, baby. Positive rate. You want to pick the gear up, just pull it out and lift it straight up. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And then that RTO auto brake, turn it to off.
This right here?
Yeah. No. This is auto brake.
Okay, so off.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
New Zealand 363, contact north departure.
Over to departure 135.1, New Zealand 363. NorCal departure, New Zealand 363, runway 1 left, climbing 1,200.
New Zealand 363, NorCal departure, radar contact, climb unrestricted, maintain level 190.
Climb unrestricted, maintain flight level 190, New Zealand 363. Did you say 190?
Air Canada 240.
I think he said 190, so unrestricted. So that means no stops, no nothing. I'm going to put this on climb. See, it says below right there. So if I do, if I click altitude intervention, it'll blow that away. So he wants me to just get up to flight level 190 as fast as possible. So now I put this on command. That's the autopilot. I'm on LNAV and VNAV so that it's going to track this route. There was quite a bit of wind that was kicking us off. You saw that? Because
yeah,
we were
it readjusted
like
itself.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and put that in off position, and now it's going to follow the route the whole way up. That's good. And then we'll go flaps 2. you can see the green line where it says flaps 1 and then up. Usually when it gets to 1, between 1 and up, I'll just go ahead and bring them all up. So if you lift this up and just move it forward, that'll lift the flaps up. And just go all the way to off. There you go. So it's climbing on its own. It's following the computer. That's why all the programming's done ahead of time. You can turn that off. There we go. And then we know the flaps are up because they're indicating 0.
Okay.
Now you can adjust this all you want. You're not going to hurt anything. You won't mess up the flight. You can look around at whatever you want to see here. Look at different aspects of. You can also do, which shows your vertical climb profile into the next waypoint, which is kind of neat. That's a neat feature. And then it gives you can see the terrain.
Okay. From where we at.
Right. You can see those little hills and stuff up there. You can see where you're going to be flying over those. All right. So we're on that Styx 5. So. And it shows here to confirm we're direct porte or port. So that's showing up right there. If I click on this, I can turn on the traffic, which will show both the airplanes and us and the air route.
Okay.
So if I go here, you can see, look at all the airplanes on.
At the airport.
Yeah, those are all guys like you and me in their own airplane ready to go. So let me see if I can find our buddies. This is probably, no, it's not going to show it that way. So you can see yourself here, or I can go to this other map, this VATSIM radar. I have no idea who he's going to hand me off to. Probably 133.8, maybe. Take a shot. There's a whole laundry list of them up there. So if I come into here,
it's a lot of birds.
Yeah, see so look at the conga line, all these airplanes that are all going down to San Francisco. I'm trying to find our guys. Okay, that far? Can't be that far ahead. See, you can see us right here. That's us. Can't believe they're that far ahead of us. There's American 1, so that's Pat.
Okay.
And then there's Duncan. He's actually lives in New Zealand.
Okay.
So he and Pat and I are going to be doing that WorldFlight deal in November. We're all going to be flying basically the same airline, but he's going to be 361, 362, I'll be 363. But we all split up the leg. 2.8 for New Zealand 363, see ya. So 2 Ocala approach, this is New Zealand 363. Sorry, Oakland Center, 15,000. Climb and maintain flight level 370, New Zealand 363. So turn that to 37.
Is that 37?
Yeah, 37,000. Yeah, if you see this map in here and see all the, if you saw this in a real airplane, it would be like, whoa. Hello?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, baby, I'm flying. Okay. All right, bye-bye. All right. Yeah, look at all the frequencies that are in. Usually there's like, you know, there's one or two, but look at all the frequencies that are in there. I mean, these are Los Angeles, Oakland, Seattle, Salt Lake Center, and that's NorCal, Reno, San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, so that makes it, that's pretty interesting to have that much going on. On our way. All right. So, what do you think so far?
It's pretty cool. Really interesting.
So let's see. I mean, it's pretty much a constant state of stuff to do depending on the length of flight. So during the climb, there's not much to do at this point except we monitor the cabin pressure. So it's climbing at about 500 or 600 feet per minute. That's the change. Current cabin altitude is like 4,000. Even though we're climbing out of 21,000. So it pressurizes the cabin so it doesn't feel like you're at high altitude.
Okay.
And that's really about it. Make sure we don't have any lights come up, but couldn't tell what he was saying. It sounded like 363, but I think it was United. United 352. New Zealand 363, go ahead. Increase to 350 knots. Copy. Do not exceed 250 knots. New Zealand 363. So he wants us to stay below 250 knots. So if I do that, then I can actually slow it down by manually entering the speed. But one of the challenges of these guys, and see, that's not normal. Normally, once you're above 10,000 feet, you can go as fast as you want, within reason.
Right.
But he's doing this probably for traffic separation. So let's see. You push this and get rid of that one. Now you should have traffic. If it actually shows up, if there's any. This is 10 miles, and that's your range ring.
Okay.
Yeah, so there we go. I just slowed it down a little bit to. I don't know why he would be doing that, except he wants traffic separation. I don't see any traffic showing up, but that doesn't mean there isn't any. There's probably this guy that's right in front of me, this NK239. He probably wants to keep a certain amount of space between us. But one of the challenges with this and these guys is, you know, they're doing it for hobby just like we're doing it. So they're not perfect. We're not perfect. But oftentimes what I find is they get real testy sometimes when, you know, you can't really even hear them that well because they talk so fast you don't even know what they're like. Slow down, dude. If you slow down, I could understand you, but you're talking so fast it sounds like garbage.
Right.
But they try. It's like if you slow down the first time.
So they just do it like a air traffic controller that do it as a hobby?
Just like we're doing this as a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just having fun just like we are. You know, it's not a job or anything. It doesn't pay. He's just doing it, you know, for the fun of it. So you got to give him a little bit of a relief.
So he's got like a simulator at home that simulates a traffic.
Yeah,
tower.
so he's going to have a computer screen that's going to look like an air traffic controller scope. and he's got software that he manipulates and does. I did it when they first came out, but once they switched to voice, I had been out of it for quite a while, so I couldn't be an air traffic controller now without a lot of training, because shoot, I still have trouble being a pilot. All right. Any questions about any of this?
No, I mean, it sounds a lot, you know, or much better actually doing it than having to learn it from, you know, I guess a schooling type of, you know, because they'll never just bring you in and actually watch you or hands-on doing it. They want you to start with a book and read and test and, you know.
Well, you have to get the good part about getting the fundamentals down, the book work done first, is it gives you an understanding of the philosophy of flight before you actually get into the plane, because that way once you get into the plane and you start flying, a lot of what you transition to Mach 0.7 New Zealand 363. 73.73 New Zealand 363. All right, so you can manually do this, so and dial it in there. So by having some understanding of the theory of flight and all that ahead of time, it does make it a little bit better, because you're gonna have to do it anyway. And it would be really frustrating. See, there's some traffic coming up right there. He's 1,600 feet ahead, above me, and he's about 20 miles ahead. If I'm gaining on him, we might see he is climbing. That's probably this United Airlines 352 dude. But having the ATC changes the game completely. I mean, this wouldn't be nearly as interesting without having them, even though sometimes it gets to be a little contentious, because you mess up. Left to 370 vectors for spacing. 070 for spacing. Yeah. So, and in listening for that kind of stuff, when they throw that out, you know. So what he's doing, he's turning us off the course because this guy's, we're getting too close to him. So I just switched from computer guidance to heading and dialed it in what he told me to do. When I said 37, there's no 37, there's only 360, so it had to be something smaller. And he speaks English. Imagine down when you're in a foreign country where there's a dialect, which is really, really difficult. Europe is hard. So we've got a 48 knot wind coming from 327. So it's right now it's like a 50 knot wind coming directly from our side. That's why we're basically crabbing like this into the air. If you put your flight path vector on, you see that little green circle with the line through it right here, that little ball, that's your flight path vector. See, it's going to go away.
Okay.
That's the direction that the aircraft is traveling in, but the crosshairs is the direction it's pointing. So basically what we're doing is we're going through the air like this, we're fighting that wind just to stay on that course. If we pointed it towards that vector, we would just drift off because the wind would blow us way off course.
Okay.
So you can kind of see it here. We've got 070 dialed in on the heading indicator. But look at what we're doing. I mean, this is the direction we're traveling, but we're crabbing at an angle here, and I can see it on my flight path vector here as well. And we're almost to cruise, about 1,400 to go. You'll hear an audible tone when we have 1,000 left to go. Now, the other bit of information you have here on progress is 5 nautical miles to the top of climb. That's what T/C is. And when we get there, it's going to switch to our arrival. So that was 1,000 foot to go. Now I'm expecting him to turn us back on course at some point, and he'll probably say direct eBay. So now it's switched to top of descent. So we're 104 nautical miles from when we're going to start our descent down. And then this tells you what time we're going to arrive at Los Angeles, which would be right at 2400 Zulu. And right now we're at 2328, so about 40 minutes. So because we're pretty close to our top of descent, I'm going to look at this and see what our no, that's not on. You have no idea who he's going to switch us to. But be listening if you hear New Zealand. So we know we're going to be coming in on the Ironman 2. And if I overlay that, yeah, he's got us going out over here instead of straight down. Right to 160, New Zealand 363. So now he's turning us back on course.
Them guys stay busy.
Well, this is what they call Friday night ops, which is a time when they're trying to man all of the positions so that it'll encourage people to come out and fly, because that's what we like to do. And it's not as much fun when there's no ATC out there, so they get it. All right, so let's see. In preparation for our arrival, I need to check the ATIS for Los Angeles. And let's see. All right, so it's easier to do it this way than it is to switch. So information alpha. 29 or 89 is the altimeter, so you can kind of pre-program this in. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what it would be like for these guys in the real world doing this. Like, let's see. 24 right, 25 left. There's the visual approach. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what this is. Information alpha. Now, normally you would get this direct burgle, New Zealand 363. So I'm going to click burgle in here, punch it up here, and then execute, and then put it on LNAV, and now it's going to automatically take us straight to burgle. So that gets us back on track.
Okay.
All right, so Yeah, so the airport information system is all of this down here. So winds are 240 at 11, 10 statute miles visibility, few clouds at 1500, few at 5000, temperature 23, dew point 16, altimeter 29er, 89er, simultaneous instrument approaches and RNAV RMP approaches in progress, runways 24 right, 24 left, and or vectors for visual approach will be provided. Simultaneous approaches to all runways in progress and simultaneous approaches in progress between Los Angeles and Hawthorne airports. So blah, 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 blah. Let's see, what did I have? Yeah, so we have 24 right. If we look at the airport at LAX, so because we're coming in from the north, the chances are he's going to give us 24 left and not 25 right or 25 left because he don't want them crossing. He's probably got aircraft landing on 24 left, coming in straight in, whereas he would bring us in from the north and cut us in so that we don't converge. So I'm pretty confident we're going to get 24 right, which is what I have planned, and I know it's going to be the Ironman. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. So then some other stuff we can do is we do our approach ref. We know we're always landing 30, flaps 30. So if you put that in there, it's going to give us our flap speed. And if he does give us 24 right, it tells us what the approach frequency is and the course. So you can put 251 in here. And I'm going to put 251 in mine. There we go. And then if you mirror what I'm doing on your side, and I'm going to do it over here, push this button here, and it's going to flip the ILS to the lower one. And then you want to dial in 10850, and then switch them again, make it for standby to active. There you go. Now you're set. Now we got the ILS frequency for both sides dialed in, and we're good to go. Yeah, they got a lot of traffic, there's no question. Yeah, you can see the traffic here and here. You're not showing it on yours. There you go. If you don't see it, you can zoom out a little.
So those people ahead of us.
Yeah, so this guy's descending. He's 2,100 feet below us, but he's steady. He's not climbing, or if he was descending, it'd be a down arrow or an up arrow.
So he's 20,000 feet below
No,
us?
2,100 feet.
Oh, 2,100.
This guy's 1,000 feet above us here.
Okay.
And if they change altitude, you'll see a little up arrow next to it or down arrow. I'm suspect that's the guys that are up ahead of us. So. Now the other thing that I try to keep aware of shows that I'm 40 miles from our top of drop or top of descent.
Okay.
Now he should give me clearance to descend, like he'll tell me descend via the Ironman to arrival, and that way I'll dial in my lower altitude and it'll just do it automatically.
Okay.
Or he'll tell me to descend to a specific altitude.
Depending on traffic.
Depending on traffic. They try to keep it separated to where that's not a problem, but there's no guarantee. I'm just kind of curious. But part of the reason why they have so many controllers is so that they have areas that they work. So it sounds like it's really busy, but they've got to divide it up into a bunch of different groups. Was that me?
I might call you again.
Is that 135.3 for Air New Zealand 363? Yeah, 135.3.
That's 519, experiencing error, contact Open Center 134.55.
Los Angeles Center, Air New Zealand 363, flight level 370. One 135.3. Los Angeles Center, New Zealand 363, flight level 370. The fact that he just said hello means that we've established connection, so that's, I don't need to do anything else. 29er, 89er, so I just got that confirmed by listening to him. Now that I'm back on LNAV, I usually bug this back up so it's tracking the course. That way if he gives me a heading to change all of a sudden and I hit the heading, it doesn't go and start turning somewhere. It'll stay right where it is until I dial it in left or right.
Okay.
They call that bugging up your heading. So, let's see. I have no idea what approach he's going to give us either. Let's see. Normally you kind of know, but if I hear somebody that I know is right ahead of me get handed off to another controller, sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. So you can listen for them and go, okay, well, I'm following him, so he's going to hand it off to this controller. Descend via the Ironman 2 arrival, altimeter 29er, 89er, New Zealand 363. So now that he's told me that, I don't have to worry about, I can go ahead and dial that down, and then what I'm going to look for is, what's my lowest altitude is 6,000. 6,000 is the lowest altitude. Now he'll probably give me something else, but if left on my own, that's what I would do. When they hand me off to a SoCal approach, he'll probably give me something more specific. So what'll happen, as soon as we get here, or in 12 nautical miles, it'll just start coming down. So, sorry I didn't turn the passengers' seatbelt sign off, so they've been strapped in all this time. Sorry guys, you know.
Somebody pissed themselves.
Yeah, so let me see. So the other thing that I haven't done is, normally I'll go in here and look and see if, go to, all right, so we got a bunch of people. We got a bunch of people watching. Sorry guys.
It's pretty cool.
We have been a little busy, so we're sorry we haven't chimed in and said anything to you. Yeah, right, Pat. This is first time on board, so. Pat 738. You have a guess yet? So Giovanni is the sales rep for FSC that I bought this system from. Now he has to go to sleep because it's 1:30 in Italy. So again, sorry guys, we haven't been paying attention to you guys. It's just been, we've been a little busy. Okay, so we're starting our descent now. And we've got our computer set, so the ILSs are configured and ready to go. We're just waiting to see what control is going to tell us. So Rodney, hey Rodney, long time no hear from. And Duncan, you're on there too. Cool. I don't know if you guys are still on there, but sorry we haven't been paying attention. What approach for SoCal did you get? All right, it got quiet. That's unusual. 35.3. Yeah, it's going to be a zoo in WorldFlight, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm really surprised he's got us going this slow.
On a Friday.
So descending on a flight level 310. We're still pretty high. So there's 239 in front of us, or 5239. Let's see what pad is on. Fives. 128.5 it looks like. You can kind of cheat and see what these guys are. This guy's right ahead of me. Let's see how about him. Looks like he's on 128.5, so there's probably, so this guy that's right on the same path, ACA 240, he's a little ahead of us, and there we are. So that's the approach he's on, so I'm assuming that's what we're going to get. So there's the coastline for SoCal up there.
Okay.
And it's pretty indicative of what it really looks like. I mean, when you get down closer, it's pretty freaking realistic looking. See Catalina Island out there.
Yeah.
I've been out there several times in the real world.
Yeah, I've been to San Diego, and I've been to Los Angeles.
Where'd you grow up?
I actually grew up in El Salvador. Then when I was 15, I came here, grew up in Biloxi, went to Biloxi High School.
Let's see. Another thing we need to think about is we're going to be coming in on 2-4. I don't really care about parking. That's not super critical. As far as where, I know Southwest is right in the first terminal, which we don't want to be there. Yeah, so our first leg on WorldFlight is a little over 3 hours. So this was probably a little over an hour.
Okay.
So let's go.
LA 7 United 2464 at flight level 330. At 2420 at that flight. LA 7 United 3 is having your crossing.
Yeah, so I'll put it back on. So this is showing our speed at 280. So that's what the magenta bug is. So it's coming down and getting us back online with that. You can also balance this out, the fuel. So this one's burning more than that one. So what I can do is put the crossfeed valve on and turn these fuel pumps off. So it'll start drawing more on those two, that side, just to balance it out. And in the meantime, we've got a warning, a caution that says fuel. So it's kind of a reminder, so you can keep an eye on that when those get evened out. Then we'll flip this back on, or put the pumps back on, and then turn the crossfeed off.
Okay. Why does one start burning more than the other?
APU, because when you start the auxiliary power unit, it's drawing only on one side, so it probably used up a little bit before. So yeah, he said 280 knots in the transition. So it took a while to get that vet going, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the guy was in a hurry, so we've been really busy.
Maintain 280 knots until when? I'm sorry? Simon, 280 knots until Simon, New Zealand 363. Yeah, so we're a little bit, you can see this magenta line that's coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Normally when you're on the perfect glide path, that this would be in the center. Now it will be once our speed tapers off here, because it was adjusting a little bit. So see, now it's coming back to 0.
Okay.
Because I put the speed brakes on to slow us down to 280, and I may have to even again. 28.5, New Zealand 363, see ya. SoCal approach, New Zealand 363 on the Ironman 2 with Alpha.
New Zealand 363, SoCal approach, Allium 2989, right back to visual approach for
2989er, expect visual vectors for visual approach 24 right, New Zealand 363. Which is fine. I mean, if he's going to give us vectors for the visual, I don't really need to do anything. I'll just switch over to heading when he starts telling me to turn, so I really don't need to do anything. I could start changing some stuff. 29er, 89er, that's at 18,000. You got to go back on, so now we're in the local altimeter. So what happens is, like I'm going to dial this in so that we're on our course. All right, I told you bug up, so we'll bug that up. And I'm going to put it in heading mode, because if I go into here and go approach 24 right, which is just the airport, and then say, let's call it a 10-mile line, it'll do an extension, which will be at a 3-degree flight path angle, which would be normal. Now it's given me, instead of an ILS, it's given me just a visual approach. But see, now I got this is messed up here.
Right.
So if I go down and look at Simon, put Simon in a scratch pad and go up to the top here. Now it returns Simon to my direct path, and I'm okay, everything's fine, and I can go back to LNAV. But because it put a whole bunch of screwy stuff in there, if you leave it in LNAV, sometimes it might start turning when you're trying to finish your programming. So this way it keeps everything in track without going haywire. So if I go through here and I step it in, see, there's the airport. There's no ILS like we had before. It's just sending me out here, and then he's going to turn me for a visual approach because it's clear.
Okay.
We
Fuel
just
pumps are passed now.
Yeah. So I don't really need to worry about it. I mean, all right, so now we're a little bit too much fuel, but that's okay. Put it back on. That's how that works. Turn this one off now. That's why you got to pay attention to that stuff, because he's like, whoops, started burning too much fuel out of that side. All right. So this is where it can get a little bit busier, and they start spitting out stuff, and it's like you just kind of got to get used to memorizing, remember what they said. All right, so we're descent, so the bleeds are good, pressurization's good, signs are on, we never took them off. Auto brake, let's see what SimBrief says for the auto brake. All right, so we're good there. You made 280 at Simon, no problem. Landing. This is going to be 24 right and auto brake 2. So what I'm looking for just on the performance, it's telling me auto brakes 2, flaps 30, so that's all confirmed. Visual approach is 141, and that's usually right because usually put +5 on top of that, so that's okay. And we have to be above based at above 9,000, and right now we're at 11, so we're okay. So I'm going to put our lights on. We usually put our lights on at 10,000, and I put everything on. All right, so we're at 365, so that's cool. Cross speed's off. I'm going to put engine start switches on continuous just in case you get a bird strike. Now you can see the airport over there. See the lines, the lights kind of flashing on the next to the coastline. There are 2 pair of them. That's LAX.
Okay. All right, landing data is good. Recall. Exterior lights checked. Engine start switch is continuous, and you can put this on terrain. It might get a little cloudy, a little bit busy, but. All looks good. Got downtown LA. Oh shoot, speaking of 180.
So what I can do here, just for added comfort zone, is put in approach 24 right, and just to have it. So this kind of gives you a picture of where we are in relationship to the airport and the approach, so it mirrors what's on the map. And there's the airport.
Okay.
So we'll be coming in on the two runways on this side. It'll be the one on the outside.
Okay.
I don't know what speed he's going to want me at, but I'm going to put 240 for now. So I told you we'd stop at 11. I mean at 6, so that's where I am. So I'm waiting for him to call me. 2600 on the altitude and 180 on the speed. He's only 263. All right, so we're going to go to put our gear down at 1 notch of flaps because I want to slow this thing down. So I still have the speed brake out so I can slow it down, and you can see the speed's coming down quite a bit.
Okay.
And I dropped the gear because that'll give us a lot of drag, and I put a notch of flaps out to slow us down because he wants us at 180 and 2600.
So has the runway been confirmed? The runway has been confirmed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what he told us for 24 right, yeah. Visual, you can say spec vectors for 24 right. But now I'm trying to get down to 2600 is where he wants us, and at 180 knots. Right to 160, New Zealand 363. All right, so there's 180 on the speed. Put 5 degrees of flaps out. Some of these guys are still able to. Oh. Yeah, so I can see the airport now. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Right to 220 on the heading, and we're looking for the traffic. New Zealand 363. You see any traffic?
Not at all. Then I'm going to have some bright
right
beams
in front of us. I don't see him yet. No joy on the traffic, New Zealand 363.
1 o'clock. So
Well,
yeah, so it'll be somewhere here.
yeah, Air New Zealand, we do have the field inside, just don't have the traffic, sorry.
New Zealand 363, no problem. Maintain location here, ready for 5 mile final, visual approach on the taper right.
160 till 5 mile final, clear for visual approach runway 24 right. It has gotten a little hazy, but I still think we had it.
Okay, United 1498, maintain 2,600.
I see I mean, I can see where it is on here, so.
So we should be.
Yep, turning inbound now, New Zealand 363. Yeah, I see it now. 133.9. I'm assuming that's me, too, also. Yeah, so we're going to go flaps 30, because we're at 160. And I can kind of tweak it a little bit to make sure that we're getting in on it.
Is that traffic we're looking for?
Oh no, he's going out that way.
Okay, which Padua?
He would be, I think I see him, he's right down there next to the 2 runways that are doing this.
Uh-huh.
He's just off to the right coming in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to try flying it? But yeah, this would be so this is where Tree 9 for New Zealand 363, thanks. LA Tower, New Zealand 363, inbound visual for 24 right.
Air New Zealand 363, LA Tower, wind 250 at 12, runway 24 right, clear land.
Clear land 24 right, Air New Zealand 363. So I'm kind of just watching it visually. I'm looking at the altitude to see. I feel like we're high. I can't see the rabbit yet, and I'm inching over a little bit more, trying to see how the wind is affecting us.
Okay.
You see the 4 dots to the left, the white dots to the left of the runway, just past the threshold.
Yes.
Looks like a line. Okay, that's your pappies, and I'm high, but it's not too bad. I mean, I can recover because I got flaps out, gear out. I can adjust for it. So I'm coming down. It's stabilizing now. But you want 2 whites, 2 reds.
Okay.
Yeah, we got those little drain flies too. I don't know how to deal with those things.
Too high. Too high.
All right, so we're going to bring our speed back down to 140. But, you know, it seems like it's high at first, but then they come back. This is where it's a lot of coordinating. See, the wind is straight down the runway pretty much. Now we're getting 3 whites. We're just a little bit high.
See it? 2 reds.
There we
2
go.
whites.
So now that's perfect.
Approaching minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
A lot of rudder to turn that nose around. There we go. See, I'm stepping on that rudder to get the nose around. All right. There we go.
So what you pulled last, that
That's
allows
the reversers,
flaps
yeah.
to-
Well, it opens the cowl up in the back of the engine to kind of give you give you some extra thrust pushing forward. All right, so this is going to be
3,000 remaining.
Take left 1 able and say market.
Come on, get on there, man. Sometimes this thing is slower than you want it to. All right.
Yeah, 1498 LA Tower.
All right, so this is Yankee.
25012, runway 24 right, clear land.
Yankee to Delta 9. New Zealand 363 Delta 9.
It is 363, did you say Delta 9er?
Yeah, US parking, Delta 9 would be good.
Perfect. It is 363, hold short, runway 24 left, we'll get you across on that.
Hold short of 24 left at Yankee, New Zealand 363. Yeah, because you got to wait for the Spirit to get out of the way too. All right, so we can turn that off, and we leave your landing lights on until you cross an active runway like this. Once we get where he is, then I can turn the landing lights off. We can turn these off, and then now you start the APU so that when we stop, we can transition over to that. We can stop the engines, because they technically won't hook up ground power until the engines are shut off. So you got to be running on the APU at that point.
Okay.
Let's see.
363, cross runway 24 left, contact ground, 121.65, we'll see you.
12165. 2165 and cross 24 left. New Zealand 363. 2165?
United 1498 LA Tower. United 1498.
2165.
1498 LA Tower, runway 24 right, clear land. 24 right, clear land.
Approaching 06 right.
It's like I lost some sound. Not hearing the like the subwoofer's not pumping out now. All right, so contact ground, Los Angeles ground, Air New Zealand 363 at Yankee, taxi to Delta 9, please.
New Zealand 363 LA ground, left turn Echo, hold short of Lima.
Left on Echo, hold short of Lima, Air New Zealand 363. So he's telling us to turn left here on Echo and then hold short of Lima, which is coming up here. He's probably got some traffic coming out over there.
Okay, Delta 1720 LA ground, were you calling for taxi? Nope, we're about to.
All right, so now we can lose the landing lights and leave everything else on. This indicates
ground, runway 25
and then
right, taxi via
that
Delta,
we turn that off.
Delta off short of Charlie 8, Delta 1720.
This indicates to the other airplanes when you have your turn-off lights on that you're moving, so they know that you're moving, not just the taxi lights. So this is a payware airport, meaning it's not the default stuff that comes with Microsoft, so it's a little bit better. That's why the signs are a little bit better.
770, push to that Delta 7 ramp at your discretion. Expect runway 25 right.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, it was quite a bit of crosswind I had. I had to stand on the right rudder to get that nose around. But yeah, it worked out okay. Appreciate that. All right, so this is, whoa. That's some of the unevenness of the scenery that causes that. All right, so
2255 out to the Delta is clear. Delta to Delta 8, expect runway 24 left.
jeez. All right, so that's Papa.
2255, push to Delta 8, expect 24 left. I'm sorry, push to Delta 8, expect 24 left. 2255. Delta 2640, full length, contact tower 133.9, good day. Full length 333.9, Delta 640.
All right, so Tango. Man, that's not matching the chart there for sure. Okay, so but we're coming up on Lima.
Frontier Flight 3319 LA ground.
Frontier Flight 33.
See, this says Lima right here between these two little spots, so.
3330, I'll get to you in a minute. Frontier Flight 319 LA ground. LA ground, United 1498, L24 left short, go, looking at the 70 Alpha. United 1498 LA ground, continue Echo, Papa, hold short Charlie.
Let's see what that says up there. That says Tango.
1591, contact tower 133.9.
Well, that sure doesn't match any of this. That's odd.
New Zealand 363, continue Echo, hold short Delta 9.
Continue Echo, hold short Delta 9, New Zealand 363.
Delta 1559 LA ground, you ready to go?
I could have let you steer it. You want?
So we're just going.
Yeah, we're looking, see Delta 10, we're going to be holding short of Delta 9 up here. But boy, this is way off compared to that. I don't know, I trust this more than I trust that, but that's, like I said, even though it's add-on airports, not always correct. Yeah, see, this is technically Delta 10 right here.
Delta short, Q1 runway 25 right, what's the altimeter again?
Yeah.
Altimeter is 29er, 89er.
Hey, Rapids, Frontier 319, gate 210.
Frontier 319, we've been looking for you. Right turn to the gate. Enjoy. Thanks for flying.
Alright, right to the gate, sorry about that.
American 31.
This was good, Pat.
Continue on
Are you listening to me, or am I going to have to type to you? Because if you're listening, that's definitely easier. Oh, shoot.
American 15 heavy, continue November, hold short Delta.
I'm going to say this is Delta 9. It says Delta 8, but it says Delta 9 on here.
If that Japan
Well,
Air moves, you can make the right turn into the ramp at your discretion.
Roger, right turn into the ramp after the Japan Air traffic.
now it's lining up.
Meantime, contact the city ramp, let them know you're coming in 121.4.
Ramp 121.4 for 3308.
All right, so that's good.
Mercedes 690 ground good day. We're across 24 left. We're on Victor, holding from Echo, calling for taxi gate 47.
American 2690 LA ground, continue Echo.
We could turn
Papa,
that
hold
off.
short Charlie.
We're almost done.
Echo Papa, hold short Charlie for 27.
New Zealand 363, contact the city ramp on your way in, 121.4.
21.4 for New Zealand 363, thanks.
Yeah,
21.
continue right into Delta 9.
Turn right here at Delta 9, New Zealand 363.
Delta 1720, southbound 121.75.
Yeah, I don't.
Current date is it has the instructions for your pushback.
Turning right.
Yeah, it's turning right. Just we'll go in there somewhere. It doesn't matter.
Alright, just in the future, make sure you get that native before you push back, please. Are you ready to taxi now?
Yeah, I'm almost ready to go here. I need about 30 seconds.
Any
Just
of them?
pick one over there, yeah. City ramp, New Zealand 363.
And New Zealand 363, Los Angeles ground.
Yeah, we're right here. Any one of these slots that will be just fine in front of this Southwest that's pulling out. Take it right here. 25.
New Zealand 363, roger, taxi to park.
Taxi to parking, gate 25, New Zealand 363. Thanks for the service. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, they're not going to line up, so just. All right, so parking brake set. APU is on. You can put that on. The center one APU, pull it out and drop it down. There we go, and then pull these out and drop them down, and that'll stop the engines.
So that turns them off completely?
Yeah, it just cuts the fuel off, so they're, and then you can see them throttling down now, so they're turning down. And that's it. The rest of it, we just shut everything off. That's all off. Lights are all off. Anti-collision's off. That's good. And that's pretty much, it'll get quieter when I turn that off. And then we can,
3308,
that'll call ground to give me ground power, and in about 30 seconds this light will come on, meaning they technically hooked up the ground, so.
Okay.
All right.
33 Los Angeles Road, you're ready.
Well, that was generally what I do.
I'm sorry, you're parking? Because you're always out of the alley. How did you get there? Okay, press 308 is active mark. I'm not sure he got
Get
there.
out of this.
From that side.
Up on the hill, CD cloud all the way back there.
308 is taxi to park off the right. I'm not sure how you got there because there's no entrance over there.
Now, one could argue that there's a lot of